Verizon, T-Mobile, Nokia get noisy on network slicing and net neutrality. Oh, man. This is a can of worms right here, man. All right, so I just want to start by saying this. I'm excited about network slicing, but not for the consumer. It doesn't really impact us too much, at least not directly. Network slicing is more about the operator, and network slicing is more about enterprise and businesses and private networks. Now, obviously, your handheld's got to be able to connect to these slices or whatever, right, to these networks. But, like, having network slicing enabled on your phone, it's not something you're monitoring. It's not a speed test. You know what I mean? But it's a cool feature that I think can be leveraged for a lot of different use cases. Placing unnecessary restrictions on this technology could stifle it in its infancy, Verizon wrote of network slicing. Uh-oh. The FCC's back with their net neutrality thing, man. Here we go. The FCC doing FCC things. All right, network slicing arose as a major topic at this year's big MWC Barcelona confab. Companies ranging from Ericsson to Telefonica to Nokia promised to create slices of their network that sport, quote, enhanced performance characteristics. Ooh, we like those. However, many of those same companies are warning that a renewed push toward net neutrality in the U.S. could stymie such innovations. Quote, slicing will be critical to enabling enterprise cases, providing network solutions for many use cases for which a standalone, purpose-built network is not feasible. That's from Nokia. And this was 2 FCC officials, including the FCC chairwoman, Jessica Rosenworcel. Nokia further noted that slicing can be implemented entirely consistent with core principles of network neutrality, the company added. See, this is what I'm saying. You have the FCC, which has 5 representatives, and I don't think any of them truly understand what network slicing is. So they're coming in looking to try to, quote-unquote, regulate network slicing. A little bit misplaced. You should probably understand the technology and then start to investigate the use cases and then make an evaluation if it should be regulated by the FCC. When I think about network slicing, it's not relevant to consumer experiences. It's relative to the use cases and specific parameters of, if anything, it's going to enable enhanced experiences. It's going to make things better that need to be regulated at the onset. Well, how about you see the way it plays out? I don't know. Maybe understand the technology first. I don't know. So maybe that's what they're doing. I don't know. Maybe I'm jumping to conclusions, but I feel like they should be a little bit more informed about these types of things. Network slicing is a promising technology that will help drive exciting network innovation and enable new capabilities and services for the benefit of consumers in ways that previously were only possible over wireline networks. See, Verizon's saying all the right things, right? And they're right. You know, trying to stymie it doesn't make any sense. So I think they should understand it first and then kind of explore what needs to be regulated if there's something there. T-Mobile kicked off the debate late last year by warning that network slicing is a prime example of a cutting-edge tech that would be negatively affected by regulatory uncertainty. See, even T-Mobile's pushing back. What else could you ask for? Good information, driving good decisions. You know what I mean? Not having the information, jumping to conclusions, making bad decisions. The quote here from Shailen Sehgal, top executive with Australian operator Telstra. This solves a critical piece in the puzzle to deploying 5G slicing to enterprise customers across different industries, ensuring transparency, accountability around specific speeds and uptime as part of the network slice. You guys, I think what the FCC assumes is that network slices are going to create peasant-level experiences and then there's going to be, luxury-based experiences. So basically what the FCC thinks is there's going to be a Mercedes-Benz network slice, and then there's going to be, the lepers and the peasants, like us, the consumers or something. but it's not really the way it's going to be. And I just think it's kind of misplaced. What the FCC understands, though, the FCC understands that carriers in the past, they haven't been transparent about stuff. Carriers in the past have not been honest about stuff. Carriers in the past have done some pretty shady things, and they know what they're capable of. So I'm not mad at the FCC for, intervening and asking questions, but they should understand the technology before they start regulating it. Maybe read some papers, maybe get some advisors. Oh, what an idea. I know a guy. Get some people that know the technologies to advise you, to guide you, right? Clue you in on things. Some disagree that the FCC needs to make a special carve-out for network slicing. For example, Consumer Interest Association Public Knowledge wrote to the FCC that, quote, an ISP cannot favor a particular service by relabeling it as, quote, specialized. Newer technologies like network slicing do not change this. An evasion of the Commission's rules is an evasion of the Commission's rules, regardless of the technology it's used. All right, so in my humble opinion, I don't see anything wrong with this statement. These are advocacy groups that distrust ISPs. So I'm good with this comment. They could probably have some of this tempered, some of the distrust, if there was more transparency about how the network slicing would work and how it would be executed, for customers. How this plays out. Should there be rules in place? Should there be, regulation and stuff? Absolutely. But you're not going to get there just by, splattering poop all over the place and calling names and all that. It's going to be through collaboration. It's going to be through working together, meetings, communication, things of that nature. Because network slicing has the potential to be really awesome. Not necessarily consumer facing directly, but it has the potential to be very good.